Okay, last week I talked about this topic in Mandarin. So by request, so by request they want me to share again about this topic in English. So there's a reason I prepare this section again. So without further ado, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Barry, hometown from Malacca. I grew up from estate, Malacca, a rubber estate. Since my grandfather's, until today, a lot of my family's members still actively involved in plantations. So that is the reason. There's a reason I don't know. I mean myself, I'm not really in the field, but I know definitely I know about about plantations. So many years, I've been many years in publications. So many years ago, I joined this property. Then I decided to focus in plantations and industry, which is both of them are very related, very related. So so is it topic? Is it relevant to the current market? No, is it that the demand? Is there a demand for this title? Is there a market for this property? Because durian plantation, I'm not talking about selling durian. No? I'm talking about selling durian land, no, or leasing about durian land. So is there a demand about this? So before I talk about this, the demand of this title, of this property, I would like to share you a story. 2 years ago, happily, I I received an inquiry from Tan Sri Lim Wei Chai, the boss of Top Glove, the boss of Top Glove. He personally texted me, inquiry, give me a job, to search a durian plantation, durian orchard for him for his own use. So I did, and when I arranged for a viewing. I managed to find a very nice durian orchard in Bentong. Then I arranged this viewing. So definitely Tan Sri Lim won't come along lah. He sent his assistant and one of his director to go viewing with me. During the viewing, they asked a lot of questions about this durian orchard, about durians. Unfortunately, I was unable to answer. If they ask about rubber estate, about palm oil, I'm alright. I can answer because I grew up from there. So a bit embarrassing that I don't know much to talk about durian. The deal didn't go through. Didn't go through. Luckily, it's not really because of my lack of knowledge in durian. However, this case drive me to further study about durian, and I noticed there is a demand in the market because since 2017 and 18, a lot of transactions happening in durian market. It's not a small business though. Like in Bentong Raut, a lot of transaction happen. There's the cheapest durian farm per acres, means the per acres easily cost 300,000. Currently about 700,000. So if 10 acres is about 3 million. So millions transactions in the durian farm is very common. some even 100 millions if the transaction is more than 100 acres. It's not cheap, no, cheap for small business. So that's the reason I go and study about this market, about this industrial property market, particularly Durian. So then, before I talk about how to value and evaluate the price of a Durian land, so we have to understand where is the demand come from. Then we have to understand the Durian market. Let me share with you about few facts about Durian market currently. So Durian market currently in 2018, statistic from 2018. A lot of this statistic you can get easily from Google, from online. So I just share with you some basic information. Durian market, total durian market in Asia. In Asia, I mean everything about durian, durian industry in Asia alone, worth about 275 billion USD. 275 billion USD. Okay, then we micro it to China. No, China is the biggest durian consumer country in the world because of population, of course. So in China alone, the total import of durian to China is more than 350,000 tons per year. 350,000 tons per year. And 95% of the durian export to China is from Thailand. And Malaysia, how about Malaysia? Malaysia is the second largest durian export to China. Of course, mainly Musang King. It's only, in statistic from 2018, it's only 23,000 tons. I remember this. Thailand export 350,000 tons durian to China, and 23,000 tons from Malaysia. So we only 5% of Thai durian, and on the whole China population, less than 2% only of Chinese, mainland Chinese, they tasted durian before, only less than 2%. So now you can imagine the gap between Malaysia durian and Thai durian, the gap between the population who tasted durian and yet to taste the durian. So it's a huge potential market. That is only China. Then how about now, because of our export mechanism and the techniques is quite matured now, so we are able to do promotion and export to the rest of the world. So we are currently opening a good market in Taiwan, Japan, Korea, and Europe. Of course Europe, they love chips, they love the cheese. I think they can accept durian. And India is a huge market. It's 1% or 2% of Indian. They like the durian. I think it's a huge market there. So that yet to open. So the market is very huge. So, but then what is really related to Malaysia? Is it? So before that, we have to talk about the economic value. Plantation, the economic value. So this demand, you can see demand from since 2012, the demand from durian from less than 10,000 tons, now more than 25,000 tons. So there's a huge increase, and we expected in next 2 years, next 2020 2022, the total export value will be easily achieve 500 million per year. Easily achieve 500 million per year. So I'll give you a quick facts about why. And among these durian, mainly of course Musang King. But why Musang King? Why durian? First we talk about why durian first. Why Malaysia government start give attention and a lot of attention, a lot of support to the durian industry. Of course, first is just now I mentioned about the demand. Is the demand export start growing, and the lifespan. The durian, one durian tree, the lifespan of one durian tree, average minimum 60 years. If you can take good care of it in normal condition, if you take good care of the durian tree, easily can achieve 60 years. 60 years. If you really take good care of it, 100 years, no issue. So the lifespan of durian is 60 to 100 years. If compare with this rubber or this palm oil, it's only 25 years. The life cycles. So every 25 years, you have to replant again the palm oil. Now that palm oil is currently, we are the biggest export economic value for Malaysia. But because of the demand, the price dropping now, the cost increase, and every 25 years they have to replant again. So if you calculate for long term, the average compare with durian is more profitable, definitely, because one time planting can last for 60 years minimum, and even 100 years. Okay, so the cost definitely is cheaper than if you plant other fruits. Of course, you can't compare with the fresh crop. Like example, of course, the chili and ginger, even more profitable. However, the chili and ginger, in one, like ginger example, in this particular, the profit for planting ginger is very, very high. However, if you plant in this same acres of land, only maximum 2 years. After 2 years, this land cannot plant ginger anymore. You need to find other land. These they are technical or natural natural issue. So secondly is about lifespan. Then why Musang King? Why we only export Musang King? There are many durians in the market, like this Golden Phoenix, Sultan, and the most expensive Blackthorn. Blackthorn easily costs 300 ringgit. The most expensive one. However, then why Musang King? Because Musang King for export, Musang King, the quality of Musang King is very consistent. I think it's the most consistent quality. Like if you export fresh fruit, whole fresh fruit, you export to China, you don't know the quantity. You experience before. If you open a very nice durian, a fresh whole durian, the D24 or D101 or Blackthorn, there is a very high chances the durian quality like not so good or cannot eat one. But Musang King, no matter how, the quality of the meat is very consistent. No matter it's the lousiest Musang King, still can eat. You cannot definitely cannot eat at all. If the fruit is very nice, not like got a lot whole one, very nice appearance. So if we do export, we have to make sure the export quality, is very the rejection rate. So among all these many types of durian, Musang Kings is currently the only type of durian. Only type, I don't know why, because of the technical or genetic issue. The only type of durian who is the quality is the most consistent. So the rejection rate is the lowest. there is a reason Malaysia or the farmer focus more on Musang King. So after that, I will talk. My topic will be more on Musang King. We'll talk about Musang King because of the export value, and uh, and of course the value added among all these crops of plantation or agriculture, tourism, only durian have commercial added value added. What does it mean? Let's say you own this, no, Malaysia definitely promote a lot of tourism. Let's say you own this palm oil, but this palm oil you cannot like add on this tourist or commercial value. If you build this resort in palm oil estate, nobody want to come, or rubber estate or any other estate, nobody want to come. But if you build this resort or retirement home or anything within the durian farm or orchard, that is a commercial value. So only durian farm or orchard have additional value or commercial value added to the land. So means that the land beside plantation or agriculture value, there is a commercial value on top of the land. So the price will be different. All right. So the third one, the third one is objective of buying. So this objective of buying will determine these few factors will determine how you justify the value and the price of the land. He will influence you or influence. So another important is the objective of you buying this orchard, okay, this land. Is it for your investment use? If you're for investment use, you definitely go for cheap price. All right, you have to ask this. Or for your hobby, like this chocolate boss, Tan Sri, he purchased this because a lot of rich men now they like owning this orchard land or durian orchard is like owning owning this Rolls Royce, something like that. You know, you feel a bit glamour, something like that. Hey, I own this very nice durian orchard. No, you come lah, like a lot of Tan Sri, these rich people, they have their own durian orchard. This is for their hobby, so they don't mind pay extra. If the orchard is very nice, they don't mind pay extra. Okay, then for retire, somebody purchase for retire. They might consider their hometown, so they don't mind pay higher. Like Semenye, 500,000 per acres. One of my client, they are looking for this retirement home. They want to have the land for his own retire. He want to retire in Semenye. He say he want agriculture, and in agriculture land, on agriculture land, you can build one house. You are entitled to build one house. Don't need approval one. Okay, so this you build one house there. So he purchased this 500,000. For me, is for agriculture land. 500,000 is very expensive for me. But because his intention is different. He just want to retire, have a few, durian tree, fruits, some mangosteen, all these things. He don't mind. He's not really target for this, and you have to near to the town, of course. So the price will be definitely slightly higher. And another one is, if you want to build a resort, this area is very nice, surrounding area very nice, got this waterfall, all these things. It means that there is a commercial value or tourist commercial value, so the price definitely higher. Even though this orchard land is not really very good for durian, however, is because of the commercial value, you will be sell slightly higher. So I recap again. This concept first is you must understand the durian market, the global durian market. What is the demand now? And for information, durian is not easy to plant. Okay, and there are many types of durian, and each type of durian require very, very specific environment and soil. Oh, doesn't mean everywhere can plant durian. Like example, Musang King. Everywhere also can plant Musang King. But the quality of Musang King will be different. For example, Penang. If Penang is very famous with durian. However, Penang is not famous with Musang King. Rawut, Bentong is more famous with Musang King. Why? Because of the environment. The Rawut, or we call Pegunungan Tahan. Pegunungan Tahan. This from Gua Musang until Rawut, Bentong, Quarakrai, Sungai Rai, all this, Temerloh, all this area. This area is more suitable for Musang King. So Penang is famous with blackthorn, tekka, hulu, all these things, but not famous with Musang King because the environment is not suitable for Musang King. It means that even the whole Malaysia, no matter how you plant, you cannot plant Musang King, a good quality Musang King, and definitely you cannot fulfill the demand. Just China alone, you cannot fulfill. Even the whole Malaysia, you plant Musang King, also cannot fulfill the demand from China. So it will forever shortage. So why I explained just now why Musang King? Because of the economic value, because of lifespan, the costing for long run, the qualities, and compare with the Thai durian and others durian, and the objective of buying. So once you understand all these concepts, all the understand, then now we can talk about this, in more technically value this durian farm. First we had to separate these two prices. One is for vacant. This land can plant durian, but it's all vacant. It's suitable to plant durian, but vacant. So vacant land first. Second is planted durian orchard. So these two category, and there are seven criteria you need to consider. First is whether it's vacant or planted. Okay, the price will be different, and this vacant land suitable for what? Also later I will explain. So first, you remember, it's vacant land or planted. When customer asks you, hey, I can you look for me this orchard, a durian orchard, I want to invest. So this is a question you need to ask. First is, do you want vacant land or you want a planted one? So second, which state? Different state, the price will be very far different. Example, Penang famous with durian, Pahang famous durian, but the price is, the land price is totally different. Like Kara example, Kara very good Musang King durian. Penang, the cheapest land in Penang, Penang Island, the cheapest one in let's say Balik Pulau, the cheapest one in Penang, even more expensive than the most expensive land in Kara, because of different state. The value is different. Like Selangor land is different. The cheapest agriculture land, don't talk about durian, talk about agriculture land in Selangor, the cheapest one in Selangor. Also the price is higher than any other land in Kelantan or Terengganu. So different. You have to ask your client which state that you prefer. Okay, and what is your objective? Now I mentioned your objective will differ. And the third one is, you want freehold, leasehold, or pajakan, based on your budget. Which one you prefer? Okay, the price all different. Freehold definitely is more expensive, and leasehold, freehold and leasehold is private. You can purchase in private own. But pajakan, this one you have to be careful. Pajakan, it means that you lease from government. This land is called pajakan. It can be 60 years, it can be 90 years also, 60 plus 90, right? If you plant something, some long lifespan, what do you call, like something like durian, they might give you about 90 years, 60 plus 30, 90 years. still call pajakan, but the land don't belongs to you. You cannot transact the land. The land already caveat by the state government, and you need if you want to transfer the one thing you only can transfer the company, but you need consent from the state government. So the contract, pajakan contract between you and the state is very important. Okay. So this one you have to be careful when you purchase. It can be transferred, but you need consent only. And the purpose, the pajakan land got specific purpose one, or this pajakan, this land only for palm oil. Is it stated only palm oil? You can, if you purchase, you want to plant durian, cannot. You need to before that, before you purchase, you need to ask consent from state government whether you purchase, and you can replant to, you can change it to this durian to plant durian or not. So you have to be careful about the contract. Pajakan, they call pajakan. So the fourth one is location. Location, it's not about state, it's about location. What I mean location is, it's not about the land price, but the distance. Okay, of course durian, if you want cheap, just not objective, you want cheap, definitely you go a little bit further, a bit rural area. But you have to remember, the farther you go, you have to be careful the transport, because durian is different. You only have durian, unlike palm oil and rubber, that durian you need to eat fresh. You only have 12 hours when the durian drop. Unlike Thai durian, they pluck one. They are not like wait until they matured, they drop. They already pluck from the I think about 70% matured. They already pluck from the tree. Then along the way they send to China. 30% they put other preservative, everything. So they send. So the taste is not so, I would say not so nice lah. But Musang King, our durian, not say Musang King, our durian process is different. We wait until they mature and drop. So when they drop from the trees, you only have 12 hours to send to the market, and within 12 hours, you need to send to the market and to the factory for process, for nitrogen process or what. So even though you want very cheap durian land, or very nice durian land, but the land very far away, you take a lot of time to transfer. That cost, the transport cost, and the distance will also affected the price, because this one you have to take consideration. And secondly, the facility, the water and the electric supply. Durian land need a lot of water in the beginning, so it's very important. And the electric supplies for processing, for the staff to stay, everything. Though the facility also important. If it's too big, if your quantity is very huge, your production, you need to have a small processing plant nearby you. So electricity supply is very important. So the third one is topography. Location, topography. If your area is very hilly, the slope, the land slope, so all affected the cost of the price of the durian. Because if the land is the shape is very slope, very straight, so the costing to plant is definitely higher than the flat land. So it will definitely affected the price as well. That's why the like those Gunung area, no doubt is very good for durian, but the price is cheaper because of the planting cost. Okay, it affected the planting cost. Okay, then talk about this location. Then we talk about the soil contents. Just now I mentioned different type of durian prefer different type of soil quality. So Musang King, certain area very good for blackthorn, certain area very good for Musang King, certain area very good for D24, very nice durian as well, or D101, Sultan, all this, or XO. So all this, if this land is very suitable for Musang King, and Musang King is the most valuable item now, definitely the price will be higher. Okay, So that will affected the price as well. And doesn't mean that, just now I mentioned, doesn't mean Johor cannot plant Musang King. Can, definitely they can plant Musang King. But you remember, the quality will be slightly different. Quality will be a little bit different. Of course, if you do export or you reprocess it, will don't much different. But when you sell to wholesaler, when you do export, the price difference means what? The price difference when people, because during Raut Bentong or Pegunungan Tahan, just now I mentioned, those areas, Kuala Krai, Sungai Rai, all these areas, Kara, all these areas, their price, wholesale price is higher. The Musang King wholesale price is higher than other place because of the quality. If you definitely you can do it in Johor or Perak, or in Kedah. Kedah is very huge plantation now for Musang King. But the price, wholesale price is cheaper because of the quality. Soil condition is different. All right. Six is planting cost. Planting cost. You have to differentiate the vacant land, the planting. You have to not understand this. When you want to invest a lot of money, you have to understand. You may not need to go to the field, but you have to understand the cost of planting a durian, a vacant land, and a planted durian. What is the cost of maintenance cost? Like hire, is it area easy to hire people? What is the cost of fertilizations? All these are plantation costs. Different area, all different, and different type of durian also require different type of cost. Certain durian require different type of fertilize this planting technique, so the cost will be different. Water, certain area have less water, they need to put water pipe, they need to drill bring water from very far distant, so you all incur the cost, the planting cost. You have to understand the cost, so it will affect the price as well. So number 7 is compare the price. How do you compare the price? So when you say, hey, I purchased this property, this land, so a lot of people ask me, is it price okay or not? So normally I'll ask him how. First, you go to the bank, you check the actual transaction first, or the pejabat tanah. The bank will give you the value of the land, but the bank or valuer, why I talk about this topic again? So currently there is no any guideline or benchmark to value this durian. Of course you can calculate, but valuer, I found that valuer very difficult to justify the price of durian, because later I will discuss. So bank only will give you the value of the land, but they will difficult to justify the value, the commercial value on top of the land. Means if you plant durian, okay, the land is very cheap. Let's say only the land, just sorry, I forget to mention, like in Kelantan, vacant land is only about less than 10,000 vacant land. But vacant land in Raut Pahang, easily 100,000. Easily 100,000 vacant land in Pahang. It means Raut Bentong, all this area. In Selangor, don't need to say easily 200,000 vacant land only. Haven't planted anything yet. So if you plant like Raut Bentong, if you plant durian, 400,000, 500,000 easily. But in this Kelantan, Terengganu, Kedah, if you planted durian, 150,000 or less than 200,000. So we talk about bank first. He give you the value of the agriculture land, not durian, agriculture land. So later you have compared the market value. The market value, they will calculate, they will factor in the durian value on top of land. So you have to compare both the bank value and the market value. Then you can justify. And the vacant and planted one, definitely you have to check both. Either one also can. And the difference between this and the gap between vacant land and planted. Like you purchase this vacant land in this part, it depends on objective again. Let's say you purchase this vacant land in Raut, it's about 200,000. A vacant land only, definitely you can plant durian now. Okay, then you start planting durian. But if you purchase a already planted durian in this Terengganu or this Kelantan, planted one, no, harvest already only 200,000, also the same. So it depends on objective. If you go for investment or you go for other purpose. Okay. So the last one is for planted durian. You have to justify what type of durian they are planting. They planted Musang King. For information, Musang King or Blackthorn or all the it will affected the price of the durian orchard. Example, for your information, a durian orchard cannot 100% plant the same type of durian. For what the terms that they use for so the 80% I forget the terms they use. For 80% you need example, you plant even this durian farm, you target for Musang King, you want to plant the Musang King, target for export, but you cannot plant 100% Musang King. You only can plant 80-20 or 70-30. The rest of the portion you have to plant other type of durian. Is it the name's called pollination or what? Pollination kind of thing. So this is a technical issue, technical terms they use. So you only can plant. So it depends on type of durian, age of the tree. So different age of tree, the production is different. Okay. Then quality of the tree. You see how good they maintain the tree. And the history of the tree, history of maintenance, how they plant it. What if they plant the wrong technique, the wrong area, no matter how you, in the beginning, no matter how you do a lot of things, you spend a lot of money, the consequences is the same. The result will be the same. So you have to understand how the history of the planting it also will affect it. Of course, just now I mentioned about the local market distribution. If you do in Malacca or in Johor, the wholesale price is different. Or you control by somebody, or if you control only one single, let's say you do in Malacca, very cheap land, you do a lot of Musang King, but there's only one single distributor, wholesaler in Malacca, unless you do your own distribution or your own factory. So the price will definitely affect the price. No? So lastly, it's talk about the profit. You purchase this, you have to understand what is your profit, right? So how can I make you understand the market, you understand your cost, everything. So I purchase, you have to calculate profit and losses. If I invested in this durian, what is my profit? So I just give you a guideline. It's not the exact figure. Actually, definitely I can calculate. Later, maybe you can ask me in detail. How can I calculate? You can contact me in privately. Okay, cost. First, I give you some guideline only, some reference guideline only. The cost first 5 years to planting this durian, first 5 years no harvest because you're planting first 5 years. Okay, so it will cost about 40,000 to 70,000 the first 5 years you're costing. So it depends on the location, topography, all this just now I mentioned the facts. So minimum 40,000. So it can be as high as 70,000. It depends on the costing. And after that, after 5 years, the cost to maintain the durian farm, the cost per year, I think not more than 5,000 per acres. Not more than 5,000 per acres. Okay, now I talk about profit. How much you can make? Guideline only, guideline only. It's a reference, not really exact figure. First 7 years, from 7 years onward, 7 years onward, you can 7 years onward is your profit, gross profit is minimum 100,000 per year, minimum 100,000 per year. After 15 years, after 15 years onward, minimum gross profit 200,000 per year. after 20 years onward, the age of the tree, 20 years onward, minimum profit 300,000 per year. 300,000 per year. So actually, the first 7 years, your cost is all break even already. The rest of the year, you all can make money already. So I recap again. Okay, that's all my sharing, but I recap again. When you do the evaluation, first you have to ask, there are about 9 factors, category factors that you need to consider. First is whether it's a vacant land or planted land, which state they are looking for, then the status of the title, freehold, lease or pajakan. Then the fourth one is the location. Of course, the fifth one is the soil, the quality of the soil. Okay, whether it's suitable for the type of durian that they wanted. Number six is the durian cost, the cost of planting durian cost. Number seven is you have to compare the price between the bank and the local price, local market price. And the number eight is the type of durian, the type of durian that in the planted durian. And the last one, you have to understand the profit and costing of the durian. All right, so that's all my sharing, a very brief sharing. So about all this detail, the statistic part data, you can easily check from Google's online. And for any detail, everything can be calculated. If you want to know the detail, you can contact me privately. So I take about so the rest of time, let me quickly go through any questions. Any question that I try to answer. Okay. Maybe I text you all these question later, because okay. All right. Maybe you can text me you can text me your questions there. So maybe I can answer you later. I'm sorry about it. I couldn't view the question here. Okay. Sorry about it. Maybe I will answer the questions definitely later. Okay. Thanks for your thanks for IQI can give me this slot for sharing. And if any questions, you can PM me later. And I wish everyone in this very stressful COVID periods, everyone stay home and keep healthy and keep happy. Thank you.